Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, I am Duffy Duck here once again, and I'm back for some more of yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for more of Let's Play of Mario Party for the Nintendo 64, and also welcome back for some more of the Minigame Island mode. So last time we have managed to able to fully complete it, World 1, World 2, World 3, and World 4, and the halfway point in World 5. So today for this episode is the fact that in addition to able to actually just hopefully trying to complete World 5, but also we might as well do the rest of the worlds as well. So either way though, because chances are though is the fact that hopefully we're able to actually get enough time until whenever we're able to actually just to go ahead and well, just trying to complete the whole entire mode in Minigame Island. Hopefully without any trial and error, unlike the ones and how it does it in that particular, well, should I say, Bumper Balls minigame that I always seem to have a hard time with it so far, just because, you know, computer players are always knowing what they're about to be doing, especially because they always know what to do. Well, it's hard to explain about it sometimes, I must admit, but either way though, let's just go ahead and just continue things on from this point here. So of course, as you can see, we're about to be playing through Treasure Divers, as you can see right here. And I'm not exactly sure how much coins that we need to collect though. Probably it's because of how fat that is. I was simply just concentrating on my commentary. But as far as I can gather, is that, well, as you can tell, that we've managed to complete the actual minigame. So in this case, we need to collect about 10 coins in order to able to progress. So, alright, so the next minigame we have is Bombs Away, or the Bombs Away, despite the fact that I've lost this minigame several times in the actual boards. But this time around though, hopefully I should be able to pass by this. So, anyways, let's get this thing to it in World 5-5, which in this case, you know, bombs away, and all you have to do is basically you have to stay on the island until the time runs out. So, yeah, that makes it super obvious for that specific objective right here, despite, you know, the actual cannonballs will easily catch me off guard. But either way though, that's all I can really dealt with for anyway, so as far as you guys can clearly tell, is the fact that today's day is of course the 3rd of October today, in this case in 2020. Next week, for those of you probably wondering about the fact that with the brony side of things out there, until next week is the fact that My Little Pony Friendship is Magic will become 10 years old next week. Specifically, first released in America in, specifically the 10th of October, in this case in 2020. So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to able to see how that's going to turn out, especially because still that Friendship is Magic is the only show I still preferred over the likes of how it does in any other ones though, including the newer released Pony Life, because I don't know about the Pony Life though, but it's just, well, kind of feels out of place to me. Alright, next minigame is the Deep Sea Divers, which we've already seen this minigame several times already, but now we need to collect 15 coins, which is about 5 more coins compared to Treasure Divers. So either way though, we'll just keep on going after that big huge treasure chest just like before. So even though there's not much else to say about this for the most part, so either way though, yeah, that's as far as I can usually just try to say for this point today. Apart from the fact that, well, yeah, we actually get onto the forms of the October uploads for this point right now. Especially because of how the fact that, well, it makes it a little bit obvious. So I have no idea why it's really asking for this point, just because there's not much else I can talk about apart from just, you know, keep on playing some more minigames in Minigame Island, and that's as far as I can gather. But then again, most of these minigames can get a little bit tricky and difficult, as well as stingy at the same time, most notably because of how the fact that, well, we'll talk more about it whenever we're able to get on with the actual other few sets of minigames, likely specifically, I don't know how you're trying to able to call that, mainly with the next minigame after, I would say the next minigame we're going to be hopping to next is Mushroom Mix-Up. So, but either way though, we're able to actually tackle for that first. And luckily for me, I've managed to able to get 16 coins out of it, so at least specifically for that minigame for Deep Sea Divers. So And conveniently enough, we're almost nearly at the end in World 5, so even then though, once that world has been done, we can move on to the 6th world, which I think fundamentally speaking is the fact that, well, I'm pretty sure between World 6, 7, and 8, that it's going to be most likely takes place in the actual tower of any sort. That I say that is because, well, you'll see why whenever we're able to, well, playing for this particular minigame itself. So, yeah, then again, I'm just playing as Wario, so either way, though, we'll just have to leave it up to that. Even though it feels a little bit slower, unlike the ones how it does it in, Hexagon Heat, that in Mario Party 2, that, then again, Sylvester will talk more about it until whenever we get into, you know, Mario Party 2, so either way, though, that's all I can say about it. Speaking of the actual other things worth noting for is the fact that recently I managed to able to test out my scratched up Mario Party games. Well, only 4 of them that I've got that I've seemed able to got discs scratched up from these in terms of Mario Party games that we'd like to do for the future when it comes to doing Let's Plays for that regard. And I tested out on my Black Wii because that's where I usually record some of the GameCube stuff. And 4 managed to work fine, 5 works pretty well, and 7 does manage to work really damn well. But when I've tested out Mario Party 6, then, oh man, it works so fine in the Black Wii. The only thing I'm worried about is the fact that if it gets like several scratches, and then if that usually just says like an error screen or something, then I have to get another copy of Mario Party 6 if that didn't work out, even for the actual recording session. Although it did manage to work just fine on my actual GameCube software, or in this case the GameCube hardware, but that's how it goes basically. So even then though, and as well as Mario Party 8, which still works even to this day, despite it's a little bit scratched, but either way though, still works just fine. So, but either way though, it's just the fact of the matter is that I'm just quickly double checking in terms of, you know, we're still doing a Mario Party marathon for specifically trying to redo them just for the sake of better quality and as well as much more better sound mixing as well. Although, mind you, except Mario Party 9, because Mario Party 9 has already become popular as it is, specifically for Step It Up video, as well as, you know, Mario Party DS, Mario Party Island Tour, Mario Party Advance, Star Rush, the Top 100, Mario Party 10, which, you know, Sonic and Piglet has already been done for that particular game, and also, what else is on there? Oh, no! Stupid cannonballs! I can't do this. I seriously cannot even win this. Nope, I can't do it. Nope, I can't. I can't. Anyway, what I should try to say. Oh yeah, we also did Super Mario Party, that back in last year. So even then, I'm pretty sure that we've already sorted out the majority of the Mario Party Let's Plays as far as I'm aware. Even though there are a few exceptions, which is, obviously just trying to able to customize our very own thumbnails as far as I'm aware, just because, well, I just feel like trying to do that, especially because that's what we attempt to do when it comes to likely for Mario Party Let's Plays, all things considered. But that's the only thing I do really like doing when it comes to, you know, YouTube community and stuff like that sometimes, but there are a few exceptions, mind you, which, I think it's pretty obvious for that point, so anyways, let's try this again for a second attempt. Seriously, those cannonballs is just really trying to throw me off, even for the actual wind. But still. But regardless of such though, this is the final time I'm going to be playing this minigame, thankfully. Because of this though, we've reached to the end. So, how's that for that? But god dang, this minigame can really throw you off the wall at points, even because of, if you're in a team of 3, then you might able to have yourselves a bit of some troublesome when it comes to likely trying to aim yourselves correctly. So, anyway, so World 5 has been concluded, and now let's move on to World 6, which once again we're gonna have to go inside. Oh, I think it's actually a castle we're gonna be entering into. Now, you notice where that particular rock that has been placed? Well, it's been blocked at the moment because, well, we have to find out and see what happens until we completed World 8. So, anyway, so here we go with the first minigame in World 6, which is the Box Mountain Mayhem, and for this one we need to collect about 10 coins. The easiest method I can think of is the fact that I highly suggest you're able to walk around while the computer players just do all sorts of stuff. But still, this minigame is completely chaotic at points, especially how, you know how randomness was actually involved? Well, it wasn't until... Oh, did I get it? Yes, I got it! By how many coins? Let's see. 21. How's that for that? I'm very lucky with that particular stuff though. Anyways, the pedal power, which I didn't seem to play it until right now. So even then though, I think fundamentally speaking, this is the final rotating the control stick minigame. So even then though, thank God, because we just want to get these control schemes over and done with. Because, believe me, it's gonna be... Oh, what are you doing, Wario? What are you doing? I just want to get this over with and done with. Oh, thank goodness. Whew. That is so painful. Although then again, no one there is like painful as Paddle Battle, as well as Tug of War, but still. Anyways, let's move on to the Tipsy Tourney. Pretty easy minigame if you manage to get the hang of this though. Weirdly enough though, is the fact that since I'm still playing this on the PAL version of this game, there's actually that really weird victory condition when if you try to able to finish this minigame in Minigame Island, what happens is the fact that normally in the Japanese release of the Japanese version of the game, as well as the American version as well, normally the minigame will be expected to be over saying like finish, and then it cuts off screen and then it just shows clear. But if you play the PAL version, this happens. As you can see, it says finish, but it did say Wario wins, and then after that, clear screen is actually happening. So it's a bit weird. It's a little bit of a weird error to able to include that on the PAL version of the game. But then again, the American release as well as the Japanese release don't seem to have that particular spot, or in this case for that particular little bit of an error. But I'm just a bit too nitpicking right here, so... Anyways, next minigame here is the Hot Bob-omb. So basically we need to let one of those players or one of those CPUs to able to actually get exploded. So, to make things a little bit challenging, imagine that, is the fact that you have to aim for that particular person, which even then though, it can be pretty... it seems really easy if you get the hang of this though, but it's that I kinda wish there was actually more of a challenge by able to aim for one of those players, which, either way though, I kinda wish that was usually becomes a thing. Alright, the next minigame is the Bomb Skip Ball, which, even though unfortunately we did seem to mess things up on that particular minigame loads of times, but, hopefully, we should be able to accomplish this, without a doubt it. At least I hope so anyway. Alright, so let's see here, so... Oh! Finally! Now I finally managed to win this. Even after for about few or so boards ago, that I seemed to able to get screwed over several times. Clearly it's because of how the fact that I just got surrounded by, well, what else? Computer players. So, hey, at least that works. Alright, the next minigame on here is the Hot Rope Jump. Now, normally in the actual minigame, that you have to simply jump about 20 times. Here, we have to jump about 40 times, so that's a double amount of jumps that you have to jump through. Thankfully for me though, this minigame is actually really easy, in comparison to the ones in Mario Party 2 variation until... God knows whenever we get into that. But basically all you have to do is basically just jump about 40 times, and then if you pass 40 times, then you would able to move on to the next world. So, I guess that makes it a little bit obvious for that point. And as you can tell right there, the music is actually changed. So, because of that though, we're just getting to the actual intense moment. So, thankfully, if you do manage to jump over for about 20 jumps, then the actual pattern will reset back into its slow movement. So, for instance, for example, that if we make it to jump 15, it gets a bit faster until the last few jumps, well, the actual pattern, as you can see right there, whenever we reach the halfway point, it resets. So, because unlike the ones and how it does it in Mario Party 2, that it just decides to go a little bit more impossible if you're able to try to go for that stuff. So even then though, because of that, yeah, we'll talk more about that whenever we and Sylvester get into that, so... So you're just gonna have to time your jumps perfectly, because if you mess up at least one jump, and if you get burned, you lose a life, so... And also you're gonna have to restart the entire jumps process over and over again if you mess things up. So, there we go. We have simply accomplished not only the hard rope jump, but also World 6. So, how's off for that one, and we did manage to do this pretty flawlessly. But it wasn't until in World 7 that I might able to have a little bit of a struggling time. This is most likely because it's all about chance minigames. Well, something for that matter. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this thing to it with World 7. And the first minigame we have on here is the slot machine. And basically we're just gonna have to able to... It doesn't matter what icons we might able to aim for. But we can either go either the mushroom, or the coin, or fire flower, or anything else like that. So it really doesn't matter depending on your preference anyway, so... Anyways, let's see what we get here. Mushroom, and... another mushroom, and of course... another mushroom. So, I think the mushroom is also specifically the most common thing you can get in, specifically in a slot machine minigame. So, yeah, I guess that makes it obvious from this point here. So, anyways, that's that done. And now let's move on to the second minigame in World 7, which is the crane game. And fundamentally speaking is the fact that we need to aim for one of those persons, or it doesn't matter which person you might go for, so but either way though, because I'm pretty sure that each player does manage to contain, well, let's just say 60 coins. So, if you do aim for a coin, or a coin bag, or even a treasure chest for that matter, unfortunately those don't count. Okay, so let's mash the A button so as fast as possible. Ah, oh, dang it. DK managed to break free. God dang it. And this is the point where I'm might as well able to actually just to save my progress until whenever there's some, you know, trial and error situations like that, unlike bumper balls that I seem to have failed 3 times, and then, well, for 4th attempts though, I did simply manage to able to accomplish those moments. But you know, you get the idea for that point, so... Anyways, let's try this again, and hopefully we'll try to aim for... Again, it really doesn't matter what players we might go after though, so either way though, let's see what we got. Oh, I think, conveniently enough, I think Peach is almost right near to the pipe, so I guess we're might as well able to go for her, I suppose. Come on, don't mess me up from this point right now. Whew, thank God. Even though it only took me about 2 attempts, so even then one time I failed, and then the other attempt I succeed, so that's all for that. Alright, so let's go ahead and save again, because the next minigame that some people might have a bit of a trouble with, that's what appears to be by the forms of pipe maze, so I guess that's the only thing that, that's the reason why I'm trying to save here, so... The pipe maze as we go. Thankfully though, if you ever played the PAL version of the game, the screen translation or the screen transition for the actual screen scrolling actually moves a lot slower in comparison to the forms of how it does in the NTSC version, that it just goes ridiculously fast. So for those of you probably wondering, yes, it will be impossible for the American version as well as the Japanese release of the game, because since they are both running on 60Hz mode, so that means that everything else will be run a lot faster. Thankfully, the PAL version, in this case the easiest version of Pipe Maze, as you can see, that way I can able to actually just instantly manage to recognize the actual pipe that it leads me to, thanks to the slow screen scrolling. So, thanks to the forms of that 50Hz mode, so, at least specifically in the PAL version of the game, so, kudos to me. Anyway, so let's save the game's progress, and we can move on to the next mini game, which is, of course, Bowl Over. The Bowl Over, as far as I meant to say. And for this one, I think we're gonna have to aim for about all three of these characters, or in this case, all 3 pins in general. So, and thankfully, we got ourselves the easiest, regular straight line. Well, almost anyway. So either way, though, it looks like I get the feeling is that most of these other 3 players just keeps on colliding to each other. I mean, what is up with that? And also, I've almost got myself a strike. If I do get a strike, I'll be really, really damn lucky with that. But, almost comes close because of that particular... that one pin is still standing up, but hey. Alright, now it's about time for me to play that particular really cool minigame in one-player minigames department, which is the Whack-A-Plant. And basically, we need to aim for about 25 coins. I think the highest amount of coins you can get for the sake of this minigame, which appears to be, I think I should say 36 is the highest number, so yeah, it doesn't matter which numbers I might go for, so. But the only bugging thing for me though is the fact that since I have not actually played this minigame during the actual party boards, this means that, well, that seems kind of unfair for my part, because why these CPUs just managed to got very lucky to play this minigame and not me? Oh jeez, probably it's because the minigame roulette just somehow screwed me up. Or even just anything luck for that, really. But luckily though, you only have to get like 25 coins in this this particular minigame, so there's not much else to say about this here, so I've only got 28, so I think that should be enough, especially for, for the amount of coins that I have to reach, so yeah, that seems pretty awesome. Alright, next up is the Mario Bandstand, so all we have to do is basically just trying to able to win this, so in this case we have to, specifically, we need to get the spotlight on you, so, and it looks like I'm gonna be conducting, so yeah, as far as I can say about this. And it looks like we're almost nearly at the end in terms of Minigame Island already. So we've only got about this minigame left in World 7. And after we're done with World 7, then we can move on to World 8. And of course, the final world, which should be World 9. So, can't believe how the time itself just went flying by. Even for the forms of how the fact that since we're actually breezing for this super fast. So, yeah, as far as I can say about this. So, in this case, I've got a spotlight, so in this case, I've managed to able to, well, win the minigame. So, pretty easy though, in my opinion, especially because, it was pretty simple and self-explanatory. Anyways, now let's move on to the 3rd floor of the castle, and I think for World 8, is actually inspired by, let's just say, a Bowser-themed minigames or something, but I may be wrong, but either way though, we'll just, continue things on in World 8. So, let's see here. The running of the bulb is the first minigame in this world. So all we have to do is basically we need to, well, put the bulb into the socket. So, should be not much of a problem. Well, at least the last time we played this minigame is that one of my CPU companions, and I would say in internal starboard, that most of these companions of mine seem to really screw me up. But thankfully though, that's no longer the case because, obviously, because of how the fact that they know exactly what they're doing. Apart from the fact that Mario almost got, sucked up by that particular big boo. Just about. And I do apologize for that particular, belching noise, as far as like, oh no. I think most of my companions has been trapped, or been possessed. Oh gosh. Okay. I think we're almost there now, it's just the fact of the matter is that we need to keep on jumping over to those. Whew! That was really close. I almost gonna get myself screwed over by that possessed boo, and then also the 3 CPU players managed to almost try to able to snatch off the, well, the actual, the light bulb itself, so, whew! That's pretty close. And now we're on 40 lives, so that's quite a lot. Even because of how the fact that what makes this, this particular variation of Minigame Island super generous with me is the fact that Because, you know, every time you win a minigame, you get a freebie extra 1-up. But unlike in Mario Party 2 in Minigame Coaster, that time you don't get an extra life if you manage to complete one of the minigames, unless your coins counter reaches to 100. So, anyways, the next minigame is the grab bag. And basically we need to aim for about 15 coins. And because I got the smallest bag in the world, and much like in the crane game, basically all three of these players managed to have 60 coins each. So yeah, all you have to do is basically, if you grab like 3 coin bags, you would able to actually just to reach for that certain amount, mainly for 15. So either way though, let's see if how things is gonna work out to be. So even then we'll just let Yoshi just finish up that, and let's see if what we can aim for. No matter what though, I think I should probably aim for Peach. There we go. I think we actually got enough at this point, so even then we'll just go ahead and stand right here and let them run around in the circles for a bit. And, or in this case, playing Duck Duck Goose or something like that. I don't know. I'll just make things a little bit random. But yeah, as you can see, they're just always chasing after Yoshi. I'm guessing it's because Yoshi got the most coins, which, unlike me, that I just don't seem to do anything at all. I'll just let them just have a run around and just have fun with it. I mean, how weird is that? I mean, just how weird was that? Even for able to try to let those computer players just walk around and just stuff like that. Anyways, next up is the keep away. So basically we need to guide or just take a key to that particular locked door, and hopefully we'll able to complete the actual minigame. Sorry for a little bit of a tongue twisting in the end, folks, but that's only because of the fact that basically what I've only attempted to talk about is, of course, the minigames objectives wise. So, alright, so just walk straight ahead, and boom, there we go. Easy, self-explanatory, and there's not much else challenging to it. Unless if you keep an eye on with that particular, you know, spiked Koopas that you always have to watch out for. So, there we go. And we've only got about 3 minigames left, so next is the Balloon Burst. So, even though this will be the last time playing this minigame, for specifically, this is a variation of Balloon Burst, as far as I can tell. Until, likely in Mario Party 2, that things get a little bit slightly different. Well, slightly similar, but it different in almost every way, so... Anyways, let's go ahead and just keep on pumping it, and hopefully, I should be able to actually win this. And also, if you couldn't tell already, this will be the last time we're going to be hearing this particular exclusive PAL/Japanese soundtrack, as you can tell, because of how the fact that, well, unless if I was going to show off some extra stuff until likely for tomorrow, but either way though, we're just going to have to leave it to that, so... Alright, so next up is the facelift. So I think we need to get that specific amount of points in order to be able to progress. So in this case, we need to aim for 90 points or more. You know, it's very similar to the forms of Bowser's facelift in during the forms of the Bowser Roulette event, except, well, rather than just losing some stuff. Although, if you do fail, then obviously you lose a life, obviously, but obviously we need to try to aim for 90 points, as you probably already know. But you know, you get the idea. So it looks like this formation is actually slightly easy, but it's just that I have to just carefully try to able to move my analog stick, or in this case a control stick sometimes, but then again, we don't have to worry about this god painful rotating the control stick thing. Oh wait, the extra thing until likely for tomorrow. I forgot about that. But then again, it's only for a small thing, so at least I don't have to worry about this too much. Alright, so I think we're now on to the last minigame in World 8, but before we get onto that, let me just go ahead and save my game, just in case if there are some trial and error moments here and there, or even in this case, if there are some frustrating elements to the table, then I'm also able to keep on saving my game in case if there are some frustrating moments, so... yeah, I guess that makes it obvious at this point right here, so... anyways, let's hop on to here, and... oh boy. Okay, sorry for the quick jump cut right there, just because I have to fetch my juice quickly. And because of that though, I'm really not looking forward to doing this minigame because, well, it's pretty obvious what this is going to be all about. It's the Bash and Cash. And all we have to do is basically we need to run away from those computer players without getting smacked by a hammer. Like, I would say, if you have like at least one coin left, then you would be able to be fine. But if you get hit like multiple times and lose coins in the process, you lose a life. So, yeah, I'm feeling incredibly bad for myself, but able to actually just, well, just try to run away from those CPUs, and that's all I can really usually can muster. But anyway, let's just go ahead and keep on bouncing onto someone else's head, most notably for Peach's head, obvious for that simple factor. Even though, thankfully, this minigame doesn't take nearly as long as I usually expect it will be, but hey. And hey, no hits! Huzzah! And with that being said, World 8 has been completed, and it looks like from this point, World 9 is on the horizon. So, either way though, we'll just go ahead and leave this particular castle, and we ended up on the actual sky. So, yeah, and then also the music is now changed up now, so because of that... Oh yeah, you notice with that rock over there that originally was there in the first place? Well, we can now able to go back down there now, so either way though, that's all I can really say about this for this point here. So we've only got about 5 minigames left, which there are, obviously the first one of them is the Hammer Drop. And the second one is the Slot Card Derby, and also the Shell Game, Knock Block Tower, and finally, Platform Peril. As well as the actual goal thing, which we'll talk more about it later, so... Anyway, so the Hammer Drop, all you have to do is just basically just try to collect 10 coins or more, and that's all you really have to do for the sake of this minigame. So yeah, there's not much else to it, apart from, you know, these computer players might actually get a little bit more aggressive now. So because of that though, we always have to pay attention to the drop shadow. Because of that, you know, you just got to pay attention. So that's all you really have to say about this, so... I don't know about my results though, even though did the game expect me to... Oh, of course I cleared it, so by how many? I've got 13 coins. Okay, not bad at all. And let's go ahead and save my game again, just in case if there are some trickier minigames to just try to win. And, yeah. So of course the next minigame we have is of course Slot Card Derby, the Slot Card Derby, as far as what the game expects me to say something. So I think in this particular variation we have to simply just race onto Slot Card Derby track 1, or course 1 I should say. But again, I suggest you don't spin out until when the race starts, because if you get spin out from the get-go, basically you get yourself screwed over, so yeah, you just have to pay attention to that. Oh wow, I did manage to done that lap perfectly, even because of how the fact that I seem to manage to play this minigame from time to time for the actual board game. But either way though, let's go ahead and... Oh, so close to get a new record by 5 milliseconds. If only if I could have done it, like, trying to do it perfectly, but oh well, at least I'll take it. Alright, next minigame is the Shell Game. And basically we need to keep an eye on the, well, for that particular stack of coins, what the Koopa Shell is hiding on, so... Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. At least unlike in Ghost Guess, that I seem to manage to do this minigame no problem. But unlike Ghost Guess, it's always like, wow, I'm gonna have to follow the leader and that's all I have to really do here. But either way, there's not much else to say here. I don't know. I seem to concentrate on it, but either way though, it's just... Yeah, you always have to pay attention to the actual... Oh wow, it keeps doing that a lot. Now, rather than just goes like, diagonal movements. But anyways, I think it's on that shell. Yep, there it is.
Finish!
Okay, only 2 more minigames to go, and then, hopefully, we should be able to complete it. So, again, it's not that long. It's only, took about an hour or so. So either way, though, the Knock Block Tower is the next minigame. Oh boy, I'm actually really nervous about this one, but either way though, we're just gonna have to leave it to that. And, also, that I think we did manage to play every single one-player minigames now, so even then everything else goes all— No! Dang it! Ah, I got screwed over right there. Ah, oh well, we'll take one life. Oh well, we'll try that again. It's not that hard though, it's just that I seemed able to get my missed punches a lot since the very beginning. But hopefully we'll try it again. But thankfully the actual formation is actually a little bit different, so... But again, you have to be super precise on jumps for that regard, because again, if you accidentally punch the thwomp, then you get knock block, then otherwise you will fail, so... There we go, second attempt, we succeed. I kinda wish I could be able to do this on the first attempt, but nope, that just never happened to me. Alright, the platform peril. So, all you have to do is just basically just reach the goal line, and that's all you really have to do here. So either way though, we just have to make our way first. Don't worry about any of the coins, because you know, we're basically almost at the end. In fact, this minigame is like super easy and self-explanatory, unlike in, well, you know, until when we get into Mario Party 2, that's, well, it might actually add something new, so, yeah, that's all I can say about it. And bye-bye, 3 players! And it looks like that since we've actually completed the platform peril, this means is that the goal sign is just right near to us. And conveniently enough, we got about 50 1-ups, so how's out for that? Especially noticeable how the fact that this, as I said this before, this mode is super generous with you when it comes to like giving you a lot of extra lives, especially because, you know, every time you win a new minigame or something like that, you get a freebie 1-up. If you replay the minigame, however, though, you don't get an extra life back. So I just want to point it out. And here we go, onto the goal space. Finally, the goal, amazing. What's that? Somebody is riding the cloud and coming this way. Is that? It's Toad! It's Toad! Toad is coming this way on the cloud. Wait a second. Lastly, you must compete with me, Toad. We will compete in the Slot Car Derby minigame. Now let's start. Oh, that's kinda cool. We're actually gonna be competing against with Toad in Slot Car Derby. That's pretty cool though. I kinda wish if he will become a playable character in this game, or in this case the unlockable character, but it wasn't until in Mario Party 5 that he will become a fully playable character. Until, well, in Mario Party 5 all the way up to Star Rush. That's as far as I can usually just keep my track record in that regard. And also because this usually takes place in Slot Car Derby Track 2, this meaning about the fact that since we've already did tackle through the first course, but now we're going to be moving on to the second course, so yeah, as far as I can try and able to explain about this for the most part, so yeah, as far as I can say about this for this. Oh, dang it, I spin out! Come on, hopefully I can beat Toad, come on! Oh, that was actually a really close race. But, regardless, I did manage to conquer the race. And that pretty much concludes the minigame island. Pretty short, but hey, at least it's fun nonetheless. Especially noticeable how the fact that despite there are some frustrations like, you know, the rotating the control stick minigames, that's all I can really expect for that particular stuff. So either way though, yeah. So there we go folks, that's the minigame island in Mario Party 1. And there's not much else I can talk about because, well, that again is just that, you know, it's like a minigame endurance kind of stuff. And let's save our game. And we've completed all 50 of these minigames. So, how's that for that? With the exactly 50 lives. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So I guess we'll end things off here. So join me tomorrow for more of Let's Play of Mario Party. It's the fact that this will be the final video for tomorrow because we're going to be showing off some extra bits and bobs, as well as some credit sequence, and that's pretty much all there is to it for Mario Party 1. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later, fellas.